specific system, and they're classifying sentences where they're labeling the subject, noun, verb, the predicates, underlining all of this, doing prepositional phrases, objects of the prepositions, adjectives, adverbs. There's no way she could keep up with that. So I did put her in the first grade, but where we were doing more writing and that kind of thing, and she did very well at that. I did let her write her story, personal narrative in Korean, and then she translated it for me, and it's up in the hall downstairs.
Wow.
And so she wrote it out, and she talked about her flight over here.
Yeah.
And that she didn't get any sleep because the other girls were laughing. And then when she got to the homestay, she slept.
Yeah.
But she translated it, and then I just typed it on the computer for her. So we did that kind of thing, more language working with, and actually classifying sentences, which was what the second grade was doing.
More practicing.
Right.
Thank you for adapting to where she was at, being able to see
she
that.
did some first grade stuff, just because of our system. And she did mostly second grade, and she did very well. She did very well. The handwriting, the kids are learning cursive, she said no, she didn't want to do that. So I had her work in the second grade book, but on the manuscript, which she writes very well.
Yeah.
There's one time in phonics where she was spelling the word have, and she misspelled it. So I told her how to spell it, and in every sentence after that she spelled it correctly. I didn't have to tell her again.
Smart girl.
Which is incredible. Most of second graders or first graders you will have to tell at least 2 or 3 times. She remembered each time, which was wonderful to see.
Yeah.
So she's very bright, very positive learner, just an excellent student. We enjoyed having her. She loved to sing. She would sit on the bench beside me and sing stand up for Jesus, and sing her heart out, which was great to hear. Yeah, so it was fun. And the kids loved having her. They got along well. They would play checkers with her, or the little dolls, the paper dolls that the girls have, or they would play in the snow piles. And they would dig forts and tunnels and go down the slides, and she just had a ball. I understood she'd never seen snow before.
Yeah.
So it was incredible to watch them batting the snow from their faces, just because they didn't know what this stuff was in front of their face.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
A bunch of new experiences.
Yeah, a lot of new experiences.
And she got along well, like from the get-go, with all the students as far as making friends?
I think so. You know, a little shy, and they were a little shy with her, you know, and we didn't always understand one another. There was only one time where she got really frustrated with the language barrier. And she was telling me about Snow White, and she was trying to tell me about the poster she was going to bring, the little invitation. Yeah. And she didn't have the word for it, and I wasn't quite getting it. So it was kind of a mutual lack of understanding. And I said, I'll talk to Skylar or Jake or someone about it, and she was okay with that. But normally she could make me understand what she was saying, what she wanted, or what she didn't understand, either through signs or just she could get some of the words, but maybe not all of them. But reading, she read the second grade material, which was great. Yeah. Great. That was great. She could read the second grade social studies, science, the Christ-Light, math, of course, she had no problem. The reading book. Now, the play we did was in the first grade reading book. And I only did it this year because I didn't do it last year with last year's first grade, so when they're second graders, they got to do it this way. Okay. And they loved it. So that's what and we had a Valentine's party, which she got to participate in. We had 100 Day, which she got to make the project for. She just had a lot of things that this time of year we have a lot of things. She got in on Spirit Week, and my husband tied a tie for her so she could have a tie, and I got her a shirt so she could wear the Spirit Wear shirt, and so she was great to participate. She didn't want to do the hair. And that was okay because they did weird hair things. So
cool.
Yeah, but she's a very special little girl. Yeah.
Wow. That's good. So you guys did a lot of fun activities, and I guess I'm kind of curious too, from your perspective, you understand kind of where she's at in the English level. what are some things she can focus on when she goes back to Korea as far as advancing, you know, in
In English?
Yeah.
Some pronunciations.
Okay.
And I don't know if the Korean language has an L. She has trouble with the L.
L and
If
O,
you noticed
maybe,
with the,
yes.
the lions,
Mhm.
she had trouble with the L sound. And when she would write it in her spelling test, she would have trouble with that sound. She'd write an R. So I think in the Korean language it must be,
Yes,
yeah.
somewhere between L
Right.
and R, yes.
yeah. So some of the pronunciations, her conversational language is really pretty good. There are little gaps where she doesn't quite understand what you're saying. But most of the time she could understand more than to return do the return part of the conversation. So it's that kind of thing, and when you have to listen and translate it and then get it back out, that's difficult
Yes.
to do in a different language. So, but she did very well, and as she got more relaxed, I think that improved. I noticed when she did her personal narrative, I would want to say on the airplane, and she would say on airplane. She would leave the little articles out. So some of those little phrases that are American, she didn't quite understand that you have to put the article in with that. So little things like that, which she could work on. Some subject-verb agreement, which is probably a little bit beyond her. But she really did an amazing job using the English language and communicating with the kids. She taught them origami, my son tells me. She keeps saying, wait, wait, wait. But she helped them and she got them through. They made cranes and they made little paper boxes, and she tried to make the little cubes with them. That was a little frustrating for them because you have to fold it and get it in the right place. But she did a great job teaching them. So that was good for her, just to be up there and try to tell children so that they'll understand what she wanted them to do. So she did a lot of going over and showing them how to fold it, and rather than using language, because it's a very frustrating thing to do.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's going to help us a lot as far as, because we want to keep in touch with Grace and help her improve in the future. But she was here 4 or 5 weeks now, and what have you seen as far as when she came here or when she's leaving now? What were the biggest improvements that you've seen her make?
Maybe her spelling.
Yeah.
Probably her spelling, because we worked quite a bit on spelling, and her memory work is very good. She did the memory work, she did the songs, she picked up the songs very well. And I think relating to the other children, the first week she was pretty shy about it, but as she got to know them a little more, she relaxed, and so that helped her grow more too, because she could learn from them with what she was doing. So I think that those would be the things that she improved in. Just the fact that she could remember a spelling in a foreign language is a big leap.
Yeah.
And that happened several times. I just remember the one particularly, but it happened several times where she would have to, I would tell her how to spell something, and she'd after on that paper, spell it correctly. And then she'd remember it on another paper. So that was a big leap, too. So I think the spelling probably.
Excellent.
And even asking for help
Yeah.
was probably improved as she went along. You know, be able to admit that, okay, I don't understand this, I need to get some help. And she was pretty good at that, coming and asking.
So she was a pretty young girl coming here, being in 2nd grade. Did you see any challenges with that, or how did she take that?
She handled it very well. I was surprised. I don't know if I would have sent my 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But she did very well, and maybe that accounts for some of the shyness when she first came, because she was young. Had she ever been away from home? I don't think so from what she said. I don't think she had been, maybe except to go out to Grandpa and Grandma's farm. She talked a lot about them. So I think that probably was a challenge. She had the other kids. She got along well with the other kids who were here. And so she had kind of a home ground to go back to. If she had just been here by herself and gone back and been all by herself, I think she couldn't have done that. But having the Korean kids here with her, I think it gave her a strength that she wouldn't have had otherwise. Yeah, so I think that was very important that she was in the dorm and had that interaction with them. And you did a lot with them and kept them busy. And, yeah, so.
That's excellent. And as far as your experience with PSA in general, how has that been for you?
Very, very good. It's been excellent. You're always positive with the kids, and I like the relationship that you have with them. You can see it when you pick them up, how they react to when you come in the building. And that's great to see that because they feel safe and they feel secure. And you have to have that when they're in a foreign country. They have to be safe and secure.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we take pride in that. Would you like to see more students from PSA come to
Sure.
Holy Cross? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was very leery about having a student, but it was a very positive experience for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear that. And is there anything that we can do to make your experience with our students better, the next students we bring?
I don't think so. I think you did an excellent job. The kids were well prepared for what they would find, well prepared in their language skills, so I think they did very well. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So I think it was a mutually edifying experience.
Yeah, definitely. I think Grace had a wonderful time with you, and we really appreciate the care you gave her and helping her learn.
She's a very special child.
Yeah, she is.
She's a very special
brilliant.
child.
She's gonna have a lot of fun when she goes back. A lot of stories to
A
tell.
lot of stories to tell. Yeah.
Should be good. Well, thank you. That's pretty good.
Yeah.